Hello everyone, I'm Katrina and today is International Women's Day, and what better way to celebrate this awesome day by talking about some incredible literary women. I'll be highlighting some of my absolute favourite female characters who are kick-ass in one way or another, whether this be in their physical prowess and combat skills or their intelligence or compassion. Now this is just a small portion of my long list of favourite female characters. I could go on and on, but today I'm only going to be talking about 7. But if this is something that you would like to see more of, definitely let me know down below. Starting out our list, we have probably my favourite character of all time, and that is Mia Corvair from the Nevernight Chronicle. This is a fierce kick-ass lady. For one, she is an assassin. Her life goal is essentially to hunt down and kill the 3 men responsible for her father's death. And rather than making dumb, rash decisions and just running in and slaughtering this man with absolutely no skill whatsoever, she decides to join a school for assassins so that she can learn everything that she needs to know in order to do this successfully. And she does learn a lot as well. She really is an incredible fighter, a pretty sweet killer if I do say so, and she just pulls off some incredible stunts. She's a really quick thinker on her feet, and in contrast to this, she does have her vulnerable moments. She is a human. She is a realistic character and she has her weaknesses. She's experienced a lot of loss, but at the end of the day, she always finds a way to get back up on her feet, and I think that makes her even stronger for it. What I loved the most about Mia though is that despite what you originally may believe about her, she isn't a completely cold-hearted killer. I mean, sure, she will spill as much blood as is necessary to achieve her goal, but only what is necessary. There were so many times where she does show compassion, and she will do whatever it takes to protect the people she cares about. Next, we have Vivian from Moxie, and she's a really kind and well-behaved girl. She, you know, kind of follows the rules. She creates this feminist zine that kind of sparks a revolution in her high school, and it is a very bold decision to do that. And a lot of the people in her life think this is kind of out of character for her. They're a little bit surprised. And it would have been so much easier for Viv to just ignore what she saw, but she is the one to take that first step to crushing the toxic patriarchal structures in her high school. And even though she second guesses and doubts herself every step of the way, she ultimately steps out of her comfort zone and does what is right because she knows that the issue is so much bigger than her. My next character is Katie Grant from the Illuminae Files, and she has some epic hacking skills. She's really intelligent and resourceful, and she's actually quite self-aware about this fact. So she's kind of sneaky about how clever she is and kind of leads her opponents into this false sense of security so that when the time comes, she can kick their butts into hyperspace. Throughout the series, she has to make some pretty tough decisions as well, but she continues to do what is necessary to ensure that as many people survive as possible, which is a pretty big burden and kind of reminds me of another character, Aiden. Am I not merciful? This must be done. I also wanted to sneak in a mention of another similar character that we actually meet in the second book in the series, Gemina, and that is Ella Malikova, who is also kick-ass, also a sneaky little hacker, and is super snarky. I also had to mention Hanna Donnelly from the same series, who we meet in book 2. She is the daughter of a commander of a space station, so initially you might be tempted to judge her as maybe being a little bit spoilt, being a bit of a princess. We soon learn that she is so much more than that, and just like Katie, she is super resourceful. Due to her father's position, she's actually learned some really invaluable tactical skills, and she's also done a lot of combat training as well. She literally kicks ass in this series, and boy, were those action scenes captivating. The next lady I will be talking about is Shazi from The Wrath and the Dawn. Firstly, she is skilled with a bow and arrow, which I love, and it just takes me back to the Hunger Games days with Katniss, who is also an incredibly kick-ass character. Shazi is incredibly passionate, she's confident and smart. One of the things I loved about her character, though it could be to her own detriment sometimes, was she has an incredibly sharp tongue. She's very sarcastic. Sometimes she was a little too quick to speak for her own good, or she could come across sounding a little bit bratty, but that actually made me love her character even more. I just love the fact that she spoke her mind. The last 2 characters that I'm going to be talking about are from the Harry Potter series. There are so many awesome female characters in this series that I would love to talk about, but then that would just be a whole video talking about my favorite female characters in Harry Potter, which isn't a bad idea. Continuing on, we have Hermione Granger. Of course, Hermione was definitely a role model for me in the fact that I didn't feel ashamed by the fact that I absolutely love to read. Being a book nerd can put a bit of a target on you, but I think the fact that Hermione was just such an incredible character that we saw absolutely everywhere. She was so beloved, and she was a reader. She loved to read. She loved to learn. That definitely helped boost my own confidence, and I'm sure so many other people as well. Another thing I love about Hermione is how she values friendship and her loyalty, and she's willing to do whatever is necessary to help and protect her friends, even if it means breaking the rules a little bit. I know, Hermione breaking the rules? What? She is an activist, and in founding SPEW, she fought for the freedom of house elves, and just in general, seeing how hard she worked and that she always stood up for herself and her friends really demonstrated how strong her character was for me, because there are times where she is put down for her knowledge. For example, Professor Snape, a teacher, calls her an insufferable know-it-all for answering a question he asked the class. But also the fact that she is just such a bright and talented witch, and she's, you know, dealing with all of these elitist attitudes because she is a Muggle-born. The last lovely lady I'm going to be talking about is Professor McGonagall. When we first encounter Professor McGonagall in the series, she comes across as very stern, very proper. Yes, she could be strict, but she was also very fair when it came to enforcing the school rules, and she wasn't afraid to punish people of her own house, unlike Professor Snape, who would favour the students in Slytherin. But as we continue throughout the series and get to see more of her character, and especially in light of some of the threats to Hogwarts and the students, she continually shows how much she cares for the students at Hogwarts, standing up to defend and protect them when need be. Not gonna lie, seeing her open dislike for Professor Umbridge was amazing, and just all of the really subtle and small things she did to defy her gave me life. So those are 7 of my favourite kick-ass female characters. I would love to know who some of your favourites are down in the comment section below. But that is all that I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy International Women's Day. I will see you very soon in a new video, but until then, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye!